All right, so I'm just getting wrapped up on a project that I've been working with these homeowners on. They had some issues with a leak at a chimney and a leak on a front wall, and it involved stone veneer. And they hired me to come out first to do the analysis of figuring out where the water was coming from. And then ultimately they hired me to come back and kind of oversee the project. Let's figure out where the water's coming from. Let's get a stone person in to rework the stone. And we ultimately decided to get a roofing company in to help rework the water management from the roof system, because that was really the culprit for a lot of this stuff. So I ended up getting Steve Holly with Roofing by RLI. He came out and did the roof work. And then I've got Eddie Ozier. He came out and did all of the stone work. So I want to show you the spots that they worked on. I'll kind of explain what the issues were and show the solutions to those problems. So this is pretty neat. All right, so one of the first areas we had an issue with was at the very top of the chimney. Now we're going to go up there in a second, but this gives you an idea of the size of this chimney. This goes up 2 stories and is even further up above the roof line. They had some water. This is where everything stemmed from. They had water coming in at the top, and take you up there, and I want to show you where exactly that water was coming from and what we did to solve it. All right, so this is the finished product. This is exactly what we want to see. This looks really good. Originally, the water was coming in here. These shoulders, they're metal pans now. Previously, this was shingles, and that side was shingles. And on the back of this, where there's a metal pan, that valley, that was also shingles. Water was entering here, and it had been for years, and it was running down the back side of that chimney. It actually had caused a lot of damage down the back of that chimney. So what we did, we actually removed every bit of the stone on this chimney. We took those shingles off of the shoulders, installed proper valley flashing, put the metal pan on the shoulders, and then reworked every bit of the stone on the chimney. We've got all the proper clearances to roof structure, or the roof surface like we need now. They ended up doing a lot of framing work in that chimney too, going down. This all stemmed from the very top. It was all about mainly these shoulders in this valley. So these were a big focal point for this job. Once we got all of that in place, then the stonework, all of that goes up and kind of covers all of the stucco surface. So this is much better, and it definitely is not susceptible to the leaks that it had before. Now this front valley is another place where we did a lot of work, and tell you what was going on is that water was entering the wall here, and it had caused damage down this whole area all the way to the subfloor in the crawl space. All of the stones were removed, even below that window too, but this area had a lot of framing work, a lot of internal damage, all originating from this whole transition up high. Now, this is an extremely common design to have this sort of issue, and the problem starts with, or the original construction, dumping the water on the very top. It dumped that water down onto the roof and then ran it straight into that sidewall. And during the original construction, they did not put diverter flashing at that sidewall termination. The lack of diverter flashing combined with the water that was discharged onto the roof and the volume that comes to that specific spot, that is what caused all of those issues down that wall. Now, to give you some sort of idea, the repairs to this, to do the wall, the stone, and then the work on the roof is still incomplete. We still need to get a downspout. We're actually going to relocate that, kind of change up that gutter configuration. But to do all of that, plus the repairs on the chimney, I think these guys spent upwards of close to $20,000 to get all of this done, because of how in-depth the work had to go, how far it had to go, because of how much water was coming in. But everything that happened with the stonework, really we go back and we say, well, this is all starting from the roof system and not managing the water correctly up high, and then all of a sudden it's causing all these issues down behind the stone. So the stone itself, it's similar stucco, it's not the product, or the material is not the issue. The issue always goes back to water management, specifically up high. Do we have the diverter flashings? Are we diverting water where it should be diverted? And the answer to this one on the front end was no, we weren't. And it ended up costing, like I said, close to $20,000 to fix just these 2 spots. Now, they did a few other things. There were some loose stones on the side. There were a couple of other diverters that they ended up putting in place, but all in all, most of the work concentrated on the chimney and this front roof valley. So really neat to see it all come together. It's a service that I do is kind of get the right people in the right places and doing the right things, and we all work together and get this stuff taken care of. So really neat to see it come together. I'm excited about it, and excited to get to share it.